Honorable Dr. Hussein Mwinyi, Ministry of Defense and National Service, Honorable Mahmoud Thabit Kombo, Minister of Information, Tourism and Heritage, all tourism investors from different countries, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all. First, I would like to thank Honorable Dr. Hussein Mwinyi for accepting our request and invitation to meet the major foreign investors investing in tourism sector in Tanzania, and for giving us this great opportunity to discuss and share our inside information, tourism, business experience in Zanzibar, challenges and successes achieved, future vision of Zanzibar towards Vision 2050 by the revolutionary government of Zanzibar, and the challenges that we are having and are facing for the destination pre and current corona situation. Honorable Dr. Hussein Mwinyi, you will note that today we have approximately 30 top tourism investors on the island who have invested to the tune of $500 million investment in Zanzibar. We have no words enough to express our appreciation and gratitude for you to allocate your time out of your extremely busy schedule to meet us today. We are greatly honored and privileged. Asante sana. As I said, the total investment of people who are around this room today exceeds $500 million and employs thousands of Tanzanians. So honorable, what you hear from them is the voice of the tourism industry, which until last year, 2019, contributed 49% of the total GDP per capita national income of Zanzibar, compared to the mainland Tanzania, where tourism only contributed towards 17.2% of the national GDP per capita. According to the official statistics from the National Bureau of Statistics, both in Zanzibar and Tanzania mainland, 538,425 tourists visited Zanzibar Island, as per capita population of 1.5 million compared to 1,527,230 tourists who visited mainland Tanzania, which is estimated to have a population of 60 million. The ratio is very clear of the future tourism industry for the Zanzibar Island, and if we focus more, and as per the CCM manifesto, which clearly states 850,000 tourists per year till 2025. This clearly shows the tourism industry can surpass other industries if we focus and give attention, including accountability on the regulations. As for other sectors such as agriculture, aquaculture, spice farming, and seaweed farming, which has been given more attention and higher priority. In recent years, more focus has also been placed on oil and gas industry, as we all can witness that. All what we are requesting you, Your Excellency, Dr. Mwinyi, inshallah, upon winning the presidential race, which we are all confident and in high spirit of your support to your landslide victory, win is more government attention towards this industry and currently direct employment 55,000 nationals and indirectly provide livelihood to approximately 150,000 nationals. We are all aware that through the new CCM manifesto under your great leadership, you will be required to create 300,000 new jobs, where the tourism industry can make substantial contribution towards this figure, both directly and indirect employment creation. I personally, as Commissioner of Tourism for the second term now, thanks to the Honorable Minister Mheshimiwa Mahmoud Kombo, for reappointing me again for the second term. I have been an active member for the Commission of Tourism, whose law has provided enough emphasis on the industry's regulation together with inclusion of key stakeholders. ZATO, Zanzibar Association of Tour Operators, ZATI, Zanzibar Association of Tourism Investors, whose most members are here today, and ZATOGA, that stands for Zanzibar Association of Tour Guides, where all have been mentioned in the Commission of Tourism Law and fully recognized by the revolutionary government of Zanzibar. I have also been an active founder member for the Zanzibar Tourism Show, which started in 2018 with a great success for the industry and member of the National Branding Committee for both Zanzibar and Tanzania mainland, appointed by both the tourism ministers of the Union. We all admit that we are facing tough times ahead, where our biggest markets are highly affected by the COVID-19 and will take time to recover, approximately 2 years. As Corona seems to be there to stay with us according to the statements released by the World Health Organization, WHO. These tough times ahead require better strategies and recovery plans, with additional efforts and higher operating protocols that will be coupled with vigorous marketing campaigns to further strengthen the trust and the confidence of international travelers and tourists towards our destination, Zanzibar. Please, at this juncture, rest assured of our support collectively to work together with the government of Zanzibar to regain the glory that was shaken by the COVID-19, and our direct support to you and your future government and leadership. Together, we shall be able to overcome all the obstacles and challenges and meet the global trust and confidence, which we will remain the important success factor for economy to return and investment here in Zanzibar. Honorable Dr. Mwinyi, we have been doing the Zanzibar Tourism Show for the last 2 years, and being a co-founder of the show, we hope we have your support in future, and we would welcome you as our chief guest in your next year's show, inshallah, whereby the dates will be announced soon. Besides the tourism show, we've been doing the tourism summit, as well bringing the stakeholders around the table, discussing our challenges together with the government. Our minister and the ministry have been playing a key role in the round table between the public and the private sector, including the NGO involved in the tourism industry. I would like to point out 10 key points of challenges that we have been in our discussions and the roundtable talks with the government and during the Tourism Summit. A lot has been mentioned by Graham, but I would quickly like to go through it again. Number one, security. Good security is essential anywhere for tourism industry to flourish and prosper. From petty theft to police station cases handling management, it all affects tourism. We are grateful that we are safe and calm destination, but we need to strengthen more on the tourism control police for deterrence on petty thefts and crimes. Point number two, access to utilities, power, water, fuel, energy are the main drivers of the industry. The power situation is very critical. We are happy to hear that alternative energy, that is solar power, wind energy, and other sources of power are being considered by our government and in the manifesto as well. As for the water, we are not sure as how much water do we have under the ground. And water table levels has been diminishing for the past years due to the development and construction industry. We do not harvest our rainwater, and most of it lost in the sea through the rain water management systems. We do not know when this valuable resource will run out. It would be good to see an assessment of the situation where we can jointly work together to find a common solution for all. Point number three, environment, land and sea. Tourists come to Zanzibar, and in your speeches through the Blue Economy and in the CCM manifesto, tourists will leave or shorten their stay if they see plastic waste or other type of waste, if not managed properly. We are all aware how the plastic waste and other metallic waste affect our water tables and the sea for sustainable tourism. Salinity levels and degradation of the wonderful, attractive, colorful reef fishes has been seen to deteriorate to some degree in the past years. Landfill sites are being built, but they need to be managed properly. We have seen the Kibele massive landfill site, but it needs to be managed rather than left decomposed waste and unseparated waste that can be extremely harmful to our environment, to both terrestrial and marine. Point number four, resources. Importantly, blue economy on tourism requires good marine life. Our tourism industry needs to have fish around for both sea activities and seafood to ecologically balance in a sustainable manner. This is the high-value domestic tourism. It is our future goal. Have we enough of these resources, and how much are we planning to export in a sustainable manner? we need to find solutions for a lot of things. Point number 5, education. We really want to employ more Zanzibaris in higher positions, but the vast majority are not properly equipped educationally and professionally, with a lack of experience too for the service industry. Without local, highly skilled human resources, we are forced to employ outsiders, where Zanzibaris miss the opportunity on tourism for all. Point number 6, waste management. In conclusion, I strongly believe that we need to undertake a thorough study to understand the sustainable carrying capacity of our island in terms of the number of tourists that we can or can take or can hold, number of liters of clean water spent to feed the industry to different aspects such as pools, water, drinking water, cooking, etc. Number of beds that our resources can support, so that we can use wisely the little resources we have in a sustainable manner. Alternatively, we should have a tourism plan for 10 years from 2020 to 2030 to be shared to all parties and committees, with commitment to work on it for the next 10 years or more. Point number 7, we need a very efficient and fast working investment center. The new ZIPA, clarity on permits and visas, work and resident permits, immigration statuses, all need to have more clarity with tourism can be created from untouched green nature of Pemba Island, and building from the use of the local material, local staff training, and local organic and food suppliers. Point number 10, and that's my last point, not quantity, but quality. I repeat again, not quantity, but quality. As the growth of the tourism industry has been increased over the past years, this is giving the opportunity to select which type of investors come to the island and what investment they should do on our beautiful island. We don't want quantity and we want low value tourism. However, if we talk about carrying capacity, yes, it is about the numbers and volume, but the question here should be what type of tourists do we need to attract, and what type of investors should we allow to invest in Zanzibar, to ensure that we have quality and quantity that we want with the amount of incoming, and to sustain our beautiful island of Unguja and Pemba. I thank you once again for your time to listen attentively to all these challenges that I have put forward, not to exhaust you, but to rather request for you to work together towards successful and fruitful, unique, and the most attractive destination. We will see you at the next tourism show in 2021, inshallah, as our President of Zanzibar and the Chairman of the Tourism Sector.
Thank you very much. Now, a very big round of applause to Dr. Hussein Mwinyi, because it's time for him to speak to you. I know you have been eagerly waiting to hear. Some of you didn't want to ask questions before he speaks, but you have been waiting for that opportunity. I'm glad you managed to ask all your questions, your contributions, etc. And I'm sure, being an eloquent speaker, I know him quite well, he will take all the challenges, and I'm sure you are going to leave to the group photo, all of us smiling together. And after that, I will request the guy who is very important for us all, the guy who organized all this today, Mr. Hussein, another Mr. Hussein, to come and give vote of thanks. I think it's unfair for me, after speaking all this time, to come again for the vote of thanks. I would like to have an honor to him directly to give vote of thanks, because he started with a very good entrance, so I want also him to provide the best ending. A very big round of applause to Dr. Hussein Mwinyi. Welcome to Your Excellency. All the audience is eagerly waiting to hear from you. Katika, Mheshimiwa.
Minister Mahmoud Thabit Kombo, Mr. Javed, Mr. Hussein, manager and our host of the hotel, friends, Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Let me start by saying, I'm sure you are all here today to learn from us what you should expect in the next government. Usually when we are campaigning, we would go around asking people to vote for us. But this is not the reason I'm here today. I'm here today to listen to the challenges facing this industry. I know for a fact that most of you are wondering what it will be like, what sort of policies you should expect in the next phase government. So the reason I'm here is, first of all, to get to know your challenges, but secondly, to give you an overview or my vision of what you should expect in the next phase government if we win, that is. So I want to thank Mr. Javed for listing the 10 important challenges that the industry is facing. And he was very clear, and I'm very much conversant with most of these because I've been visiting the hotels in Zanzibar. He started with the question of security. And he was saying that we need more security to what we have right now. This is something that I understand. Security should be number one priority if you want to build a strong tourism industry. We will work into this by what I call special tourist police force. I think we need to do more here, and I think it is possible to make sure that we increase the level of security for the tourists who are visiting Zanzibar. Secondly, he was speaking about access to utilities, and that includes power, water, and roads. I beg your pardon, power and water. I've been to some of these hotels. I've seen when the investors have to find out their own sources of water. Some of the investors have to deal with the power company for so long to get power into their hotels. I've gone to some hotels where if you want to reach there, you have to endure the road that leads to the hotel. And all these are not good for the industry. So one of the areas that I'm going to work on would be to make available all the utilities that are required for the investors, rather than asking the investors to do that on their own selves. The question of environment, particularly waste management, is an issue. How do we conserve our coral reefs? And so on. So in this area, I've been meeting a lot of fishermen around. And one of the problems that they were telling me was that they are finding it very difficult to navigate beyond where there is conservation because of the fact that they don't have the proper equipment to do that. Now, in order for us to be successful in this industry, we need to know that there is tourism, there is fishermen, and there is conservation. We need to work together to find solutions to those problems. And I think solutions are there. And I want to thank our presenter today here, who made it very clear that in order for tourism to prosper, you need to be able to take care of the local indigenous population. Then the question of education of our people here, for them to be able to be employed in these hotels. I've heard them, I've listened to them, and they're saying tourism at the moment is not doing much for our prosperity because we can't even get jobs. And I have been emphasizing, and I know that hotels need skilled labor. They need skilled workers. So there's no question that if we work together, the government and the investors, to make sure that we educate our population. End of the day, we don't want those surrounding the hotels to be unemployed. It's very important for us all to work together to make sure that they get the employment. Everybody's happy. The hotel is happy, the surrounding population is happy, and that's what we all need. I think that is what we should aim at. Then the question of ZIPA, the Investment Promotion Authority, not being efficient enough. I've heard this over and over and over again. It is not a one-stop center. And we believe in order to be able to attract investors, we need to make this authority very, very efficient. So one of my promises to investors is that we are going to work very hard to make sure that ZIPA becomes extremely efficient. Then there's the question of accountability to serve the industry by government officials. There have been some issues, and maybe I don't want to go into details of this, but one thing that I can promise investors is that we are going to work on accountability of all government workers so that we don't have the problems that are currently existing. All in all, I'll come back to this at a later stage. Then the question of quality rather than quantity, I want to agree with you that we need to go for high-value tourism in order for us to be able to conserve the environment and so on. So if we work together on this, I'm sure we will achieve what all of us think is best for Zanzibar. Opening Pemba Island, as we were told, absolutely. We want to open Pemba Island, but how do we do that? We should do that after learning the mistakes we made in Umbugi. That way, we'll make sure that only the best goes to Pemba. So these were the challenges that were put forward by Mr. Javed, and I believe these challenges face all of you. One thing I want to say is my main priority is growing Zanzibar economy. And I keep saying that Zanzibar economy is the blue economy. Top on the list of blue economy is tourism. There will be fishing industry, absolutely. There will be oil and gas. We are lucky to have that here as well. But we want industries as well. So under my current manifesto is that blue economy is what we are going for in a big way. So we regard all of you as partners. We have to work together. Particularly for this particular group, we are talking about tourism. So how best can we work together to make tourism beneficial for both of us? Investors on your part, but the government and the people of Zanzibar on the other part. What are my expectations? One, I need employment for my people. We have to work together. It's not good enough to say that these people are not skilled and we leave it at that. The government will put resources, the investors will collaborate with us. End of the day, we want to make our people get the skills that are required, but we need to employ them. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for investors to come to Zanzibar, keep on investing in big hotels and so on, but the general population is not benefiting. That is not good for anyone. So I want you to be our partners, to make sure that we work together to make our population employable in these hotels. Secondly, we are expecting market for our products. The people are doing a lot of agriculture, they are doing livestock, they are doing so many things, and they are looking for markets. Is the standard correct? Probably not. Again, we should not leave it at that. Let's work together, the investors and the government, to make sure that the people get proper standards for them to be able to sell to these hotels. And thirdly, how do we get prosperity for our people in the tourism industry? We have to be able to have a proper regulation on local content. Let's agree on what needs to be done by the investors and what could be done by the Zanzibaris. In that way, we will get our people to prosper, because then there'll be things for them to do and get benefit of these booming tourism in Zanzibar. You might ask me, how about the investors' need? Well, I know that. One is the question of bureaucracy. We will work to eliminate, or at least to minimize, what is now a very, very stiff bureaucracy. I know issues of permits, licenses, it can take very long time, and that's not good for investment. We'll work on this. The question of corruption, I want to assure you, we will come with zero tolerance on corruption. But the most important thing is dialogue. We need to communicate. Most of the time, so many things have got solutions. The only problem is people do not sit down and talk. We need to dialogue. We need to sit down and communicate most of the time through different fora. End of the day, we want to achieve what is best for both sides, the investors and the local population. So if you ask me, what should you expect for the next government if we win? There's a Labour Party slogan in the UK that says it will only get better. And that is what I'm telling you. We are going to work with you to make sure that we develop this industry. We are going to work with you to make sure that we are eliminating all these challenges that you are facing currently. In the end, we need you to prosper, but our Zanzibar population should see the benefits of having tourism in their country. To conclude my remarks, I want to take this opportunity once again to thank you all. We are now in election time. I want to assure you that we are working very hard to make sure that we maintain the security situation in this country. Please send information to your clients that it's going to be secure in Zanzibar. There's no problem at all. I know that we are facing the COVID-19 issue right now, and most of you are affected by it. but we are looking forward. Some of you said that let's take this as an opportunity. And we are looking forward that once this problem passes, we will have a very vibrant tourism sector in Zanzibar in the new phase government. I thank you all.